Subscribe for Indian's channel on the Sweet Indian channel, not the Indian channel itself, and hear the video. Enjoy. Thank you, Sept. No problem, Governor. Yep, he said my name in Hawaiian again. This is I don't know where I found this channel, and this is 6 videos, by the way, mind you, and please pardon me for the darn thumbnails, because sadly in India, it's... I'll talk about that after. I know this has to be somebody in India somewhere, and also for my Indian viewers, namaste lati. I speak barely any Hindi. Okay, I don't know what these videos are, but I get to subscribe it. Is this some Indian man that has some, I'm guessing it does not look drinkable, some type of soda, looks like Coke maybe, and then having some liquid, Dion, I think it's liquid polish, yes? And he has some, you know, those toys that babies would have when they teeth, right? For my parents out there cleaning Greg, you know what I'm talking about. And then he squeezed some type of lotion, I believe, and that person you see there is definitely not a woman. I can definitely tell because women tend to have, I think, thicker legs, and the texture is kind of rough, so it's definitely a male. And he has supposed to be one of those baby little toys, I believe, and he has some bag that has, looks like it's like a ribbon, you know, for the symbols for cancer awareness, but that can't be. And then he basically has some bra, maybe liking it because, again, it's not, but it's outdated. I'm poor, please bear with me, okay? I'm not like other YouTubers that do decent videos. I'll just put iMovieMaker in the title for people to be aware of that. And I will basically censor it because it looks a little disturbing. His genes toward this Indian, he has to be Indian. This man is, okay? And yup, I'm not surprised because I see some food down there on the floor that looks like it probably been sitting out over. His genes, some spot on it. And I don't know what that is. It can't be outside. They might be living some shaft somewhere. I do not know where, so to speak, okay? Hold on. Pardon me, my iMovieMaker gets a little choppy. It looks as though there is a water hose, but yes, that may be a man that he has sex with because... Oh, yeah, that's right. I should have added this first. That was supposed to be the first video and the second clip because that's a man, right? And he's barefoot. That's not a woman. I know that for sure, though, because he's wearing a tank top. Okay, and there's supposed to be 3 pillows, I believe, and they're sitting on the floor, so you can definitely tell this is in the coverage areas. It has to be India. It has to be. And then there is a bucket, and it's a nice bathroom, I gotta admit, though, okay? I must have not seen this yet when I was downloading it. And decent toilet. Interesting. Not basically the bidettes that they have in Europe, or at least in the other parts of Asia, I believe. I'm not sure what country this is in. I don't know. It reminds me of the toilets that we actually have here in the US. It's a little hard to tell. But the first clip, okay, this is supposed to be the first clip that is titled Shaver Sounds ASMR. Is this supposed to be that man that was running water in the shower? And for the second clip, it's supposed to be fake veggies. They're not real, I believe. And again, him hanging up all in other feminine dressing clothing. It looks like it's Indian clothing. I can kind of tell. And I know for a fact that a ton of Indians, they do wear jeans. Other Asian countries, they don't wear jeans as much, if I recall, okay? And he basically has some green bottle, which looks as though that you would use to clean yourself, right? Hygiene products. And then again, with those little baby teething objects. And he has a cart of some DNHappy Plus. I do not know why, because those are not real veggies. And he's covering it up over one of those plastic carts. I don't know how to explain it. And it looks as though he was holding some selfie stick, I believe. It looks like it appears to be one. Okay? And that cucumber is definitely not real. It's basically a toy cumber, if I can call it that. And again, this is the only 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th clip, okay? Here, that was hanging up again the jeans, and he's just playing with those toy cumbers, and then he tossed some cylinder stone object. I don't know why he has all of these fake plastic veggies, and that's not a real apple, nor that's a real onion. If I recalled, I want the 5-10 minute mark of this video. Well, for the beginning, that is. And then again with that bottle, that looks like it could be soda. I don't know. Again, this is only 6 videos. He has a total of 17 videos, okay? And again with the bra that is being hung up. I hope to Buddha's belly that this is the recording. Hold on. Hey, please pardon me once again. Okay, this is an early 2010 El Capitan map. Yes, I'm using cave technology compared to a lot of Generation Zers out there, maybe young millennials. Anyway, to basically continue, if I could describe the home that this man lives in or residates. I think that's the term. Okay, it is basically cylinder block, which you could definitely know this is supposed to be from a really Harvardish region that he lives in, because the shells are basically all the cylinder, which it's also he's living in the Middle Ages. It's really, well, maybe way before then. Okay, maybe during the Babylon era. That's what I'm referring to, right? Somewhere, if you think about Jerusalem. Anyway, him back then, right, in the year, basically, I don't know, 1080 after Jesus Christ died. Anyway, I don't know, this one is here. And he has some glory carrot, and then he has a tiger and a giraffe figure as well. And those are basically 6 of the clips that I want to share. And the reason why I want to bring this up, because I need to share this on Twitter. YouTube, they basically have I'm not sure if this is favoritism that's finest, yet a culture fatigue, I like to call it. I don't want to call it Indian fatigue, right? Because when you think about India, you think about how there's like child marriages and basically, well, I'll say that the one with the cow part, right? Because you know how in India they're known for being really underdeveloped and having basically street food that could give you food poisoning, right? And basically kids that would beg for money because of the parents that would kind of groom them just to have other basically Indians that try to get by that drive taxis or not to basically, or rupees, that's basically the name of the currency, because us Americans, we use dollars, okay? Also, including Canada and Australia, they use dollars as well. But it's Canadian dollars and Australian dollars. Us, it's just dollars. But if you want to call American dollars, you can. I don't know why this man uploaded these videos, but what really bothers me or boggles my brain, okay, boggles my autistic brain, is the dumb. Okay, I would call it maybe Indian bait. Okay, I made this up. For my Indians, I hope to Buddha's belly that you're not offended. Because the thing is, they're known for being really sexual and how taboo if you basically are with women, right? If I recall. I gotta read more about the Indian culture. Think about in the Islamic globe, right? That you cannot be one with other women because it's kind of seen as taboo until you're basically are married, right? Basically practicing safe sex, etc., right? And I'm not surprised in India because of how being gay, at least in certain parts, at least in the larger cities, is accepting, but in other parts, it's not as accepting, I believe, which is probably how I'm thinking that May had his quote lover. I don't know if he is a lover, okay, that is dressed as a woman, because cross-dressing is pretty common, I'm sure, in parts of India, right? Because I remember I will go on Pornhub, for example. I'm not censoring this because I'm done with the censorship. This is educational purposes. So YouTube, they're probably going to remove this while they leave the videos up. And I will have the thumbnails, okay? The porn nails, I like to call it, censored, because it's supposed to be images of a white woman, okay, white blonde woman that is getting ejaculated on. It did not appear anywhere in the videos. It's supposed to be, yes, clickbait, but I like to call it porn bait or Indian bait, because, well, let's just say I'm not surprised that in the Indian globe they would use outrageous thumbnails just to basically have people view on them because they do not speak English, right? And it's the only way for some odd reason to basically get them monetized so that they would have, let's just say, us Americans viewing it, because we consume YouTube the most, I'm sure, than most countries, unless I'm mistaken, okay? But basically, throughout the video is this man that has some toys. I do not know, I don't even want to know, to be honest. That he may have sexual intercourse with that man, I don't know, but what I basically did crop up because it does look really nasty, disturbing. Don't worry, okay? There is no fluids in the video. It's just the way that he shook the camera. It kind of resembles like he was mating, right? I don't know why he did that. He didn't masturbate, but you think about the sounds, right? kind of like that, right? How I'm rubbing on my right leg here. It's like he was making that noise for some odd reason, right? And this, again, I've only viewed 6 of these videos that I downloaded because he has a total of 17. And the name of the channel, okay, and for the ones that basically are listening, this of a dog emoji if you love dogs, okay? I got that from the talking hat because I have dogs, okay? Or if you basically do respect all types of religions, do not feel hesitant to give, I don't know, an alien emoji because I like men that do not like Korea. Yeah, because it's popular in India. You don't have to, okay? I don't read comments anyway. Toko, tool, fun. So, Toko, tool, and then fun all capitalized. It has 6,260, I believe, because it's 6.26K subs, right? And this channel was created, wow, not that long ago, actually, a little over a month ago, July 26, 2025. And then the header is at BALOCH, and then con, and then dash, right? O6I2F. So this sounds as though this is an Indian channel. I believe this has to be Indian. Because I could just feel it, right? I guess you could say I got Indian radar, okay, or culture radar, and this scene, these demos, every single one of them is pretty much pornographic, right? Except for one, it is, but is the least graphic. Is this basically women's feet, okay, white women? It's probably the same woman. I don't know why this man uploaded this. It's really nasty, right? Because I suggest look up this channel. It's awesome, okay? Sway Green. SWEGUIN. Okay, he basically YouTube channels videos, and I hope to put this out at the end. You may see this, hopefully. Yes. By the way, it is all 20 complete hell. That references my Siberian Husky, and because it's September, right? Because I'm talking about 1 Union Tower, so to speak, right? So, yeah, I just basically found this channel randomly while I was just supposed to do I think it was a couple days ago. Yes, I forgot. Okay, I was just bored. I don't remember what I was searching for or whatever, and I don't know. Okay, that's, well, I don't remember. Okay, I don't remember. It just popped up. Okay? Well, I'll just browse random videos. Whatever. Because, of course, I don't need to share every single detail. This popped up. Okay? And I'm thinking, Dion, this is disturbing because why to basically, the videos is just weird, but what really disturbs me the most, okay, because yes, it's supposed to be, to define it, porn bait, okay, because for us adults out there, if you have those perverted minds, I don't, it was just curiosity, because why is this on YouTube, right? I was grossed out because, why am I seeing this? And yes, I will be censoring it, okay? Why was this YouTuber, so to speak, or pervert tuber, allowed to upload this? Well, if I have an image of 3 18-year-olds, grown men, okay, legal age, and this not even pornographic, because, again, I thought their bodies are attractive, adult age, nothing wrong with that, and it's basically for aesthetic reasons, because of how they would do the little stomach vacuum in Ali Korea, right, as exercises, physical exercises, right, obviously. Was the question I had. That got removed. There's the download video itself. There is nothing inappropriate of it. Yet, a picture, the images, I like to call it, the YouTube images. Right? Thumbnail, but the YouTube one I like to call it, okay? Or define it. This is allowed. But for me, especially since I give a warning, if you're under 18, which means if you're not 17, right? Which you're old enough, right? I'm thinking about South Park. Yeah, South Park, Cartman's Wang Wang out or whatever, right? That's for tuning, right? For me personally, well, even though I didn't show anything inappropriate, right? It may be considered, even though it's not. That's why I will label 18. This is just out in the open, okay? This is literally out in the open. That you just have images of a porn star. If you know what this means, okay? I came myself on this. This is why they need to teach stuff like, not like this, but, sex ed in schools, right? I didn't learn about this stuff until 16, okay? Bear with me. Yeah, a little late. Um, basically giving them oral sex, right? Basically, blowjob, okay? And climax, aka ejaculating. They would basically let's just come just make this easy. They would do the Mona Lisa on aka paint their face. That's what facial means. Yeah, it's disgusting. I don't like looking at it. Okay, any type of porn. Again, I'm more the age repulsed person here. So I mean I know people, a lot of adults like that. I'm not one of them. Okay, if you want to judge me for that, then judge me for my fetish if you want. Okay, I don't know how this is on YouTube. I don't know. And the last one that you seen, it was uploaded just a bit over an hour ago. And yes, these videos are just basically a minute on average long. I do not know how on earth these are up. Okay, I don't know. The only reason I'm basically sharing this, except for the gene part, because it looked as though it could be destroyed semen, right? With the print, I don't know. I don't want to know. Okay, these videos are just still up. Well, for my channel, it gets removed. I don't know why. I only got one guideline strike, right? Just because I wanted to share about my fetishes for grown men. Okay? And yes, even if you may seem like a little bit there, if there was like pubic hair, but, well, I don't think I revealed that, but, well, Isaac Butterfield, he did a video of a woman that was shaving her armpits. You can see a little bit of hers. It's educational purposes, right? Doesn't want to, always have to be sexual. Okay? Yet, when you see actual sexual, which is basically sex being performed on these thumbnails, they're up. But for my thumbnails, for example, they get removed. Or at least the videos in general, which is how my doggy channel was removed. This is unfair. YouTube, I don't know. I think this channel should get removed. I mean, the thumbnails is just, they shouldn't be allowed. The videos, whatever. Yes, it's disturbing, but I'd rather view that than the darn thumbnails themselves, because again, yes, a handful of them, or most of them, are repetitive thumbnails, right? It's mostly just two thumbnails. Again, with the woman, whatever, some porn site that this man used, that I think this is a good idea to basically have up. Well, for me personally, yes, I did it from the educational perspective of straight porn. It was me reacting to straight porn for the first time, because I was shocked at how, for my viewers out there that are straight, right, that's how you do porn. Again, I'm ace. Even gay porn still fascinates me, or even trans porn, right? Or bisexual porn, which is basically either gay or straight, mostly straight porn, I'm sure. It was supposed to be, they're not even naked. There was no fluids or anything, right? It was just them making out. Yet YouTube think, which I get, okay, that yes, it's considered as sex and nudity. There was no nudity being revealed. Yes, I know it's from a porn site, but there was no nudity. I was just using an example, right? Yes, I should. They could at least age restricted. That's all that they could have done. But let's just say that the image would get removed, right? Which I get. But the thing is, the whys of an image of a woman, of a white female porn star, would be allowed on YouTube. Okay, you can see the darn semen. How is that allowed? Compared to, yeah, like at least mine would be age restricted. That's fine. But this is, the funny thing is, okay, the thumbnail, because there's nothing sexual happening in the video. But the thing is, so the thumbnail, it's not having the video age restricted. I don't know. I'm really confused here. Okay, YouTube, what are you doing? You basically stashed one of my channels, right? Also, I miss my dumb apartment 260. I want to move back so badly. How to get that on my system, okay? Why is... Oh, Buddha. I'm just so lost here. I hope to Buddha's belly for my adults out there that this may be a little bit helpful. Okay, I will share the URL of this channel as well. I do not know why this is up. Because of the thumbnails, okay? Yeah, there's no nudity. Well, at least I don't think so. But the thing is, the way that he's portraying these thumbnails, it makes me believe that these videos seem that it's supposed to be the aftermath of gay sex that was performed. Yet it's up. If I hadn't seen any of this, I would probably think I don't know what's going on. I probably wouldn't care. And also, his most viewed video has 289,000 views, right? At least some of the comments thinking that, yep, this is a crime. I think, oh no, okay, no crime taken here. It's just, what's it? Oh my Buddha, my sword, this is almost full. What's against the terms of services? This is the images, the images. Okay, this shouldn't be allowed. This should not be allowed at all. So yeah, other than that, oh, I cannot speak wrong. His most viewed is 693,000 views. Yeah, I do not know how. Even though some of these got a little bit more views than others. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, for my Indians out there, please do not do this. Please don't. I know that you may be going through basically living well below poverty or just struggling financially, maybe in poor regions, but there's not the way to do it because, well, this is not going to help your country. That's why I just know this has to be Indian. Okay, this has to take place in India. I could tell. This is not, if you think I'm racist, then so be it, okay? The reason I'm saying this is because I'm heart-minded of other cultures. So I can kind of tell. My glob. Why am I ejaculating? Why though? I need bunny in my face right now. If you don't want that, don't worry. It's not an appropriate word. It's one of my favorite Indian words, okay? Look it up. Bunny. B-A-N-E-E. Just translate it on Google. The Google translator. Not said.